Hello everybody, welcome to Cape Rugby TV. It's of course Wednesday night and we talk to you about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Very exciting tonight. As many of you will know, the embargoed fixtures for the top 9 is being announced tonight. It's been a clash at the in the divisions, but the top 3 in each division, in the Southern League, the Northern League, and of course the City League have now been decided, and we'll take a look at what's happening with those fixtures. The forum got together on Monday night, all the divisions, and they had a chat there and did the draw, and we'll take a look at that a little bit later. Big thanks to our sponsors, of course, on board with Cape Rugby TV. Hisense, our technical partner. Score Energy Drinks, and you can win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks. And as you know, Score is, of course, on board with Cape Rugby TV and the Sevens, and Springbok Atlas. You see them behind me now, your bus transport solution. Affordable prices for clubs that need to travel. Springbok Atlas is the bus company that you need to get hold of. And of course, Dulux Maitland at number 30 Coburg Road. They'll sort out all your paint supplies. And MChem 24-hour pharmacy. There you have it behind me right now. MChem 24-hour pharmacy on the corner of Durban and the Durban Road and N1. Fantastic pharmacy. Right, let me introduce you to my panel this evening. Jerome Paardewater, welcome back.
Hello JP, good to be back. You're the only guy that's not cold here in the studio.
No, I'm pretty cold.
I think the winter is starting over again.
Yeah, we're getting a bit of a, I see the dams are filling up nicely, and everyone's talking about this extra water, so that's great. Faisal Felton, nice to have you back.
No, good evening JP, it's good to be back.
Yeah, big night tonight. We announced the top 9.
Yes, I know our office this morning has been inundated with calls and that. Everybody wants to know what's happening, who they're playing. They've got arrangements to make and that there, but I think, you know, the suspense is good. So watch Cape Rugby as the guys doing tonight and see what happens.
So it was an interesting Monday night, having the various divisions there. You had City, Southern and Northern League guys. They're all ready for the draw. You've done this draw now for a few years. The guys seem quite excited.
No, definitely. I think this is what everybody looks forward to make that top 9. The guys have made it. I think well done. I think it's good now to see and measure yourself against the other leagues. A lot of those teams, you know, have been playing against competition, which is, you know, I wouldn't say weak, but it's been sort of, you know, different, intense. And now you're measuring yourself against the other league to see where you stand out, and you know, you measure the boys from the men.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting show, folks. So make sure that you stay tuned, because later in the show we are going to announce the fixtures for the top 9. So that's still going to happen for a couple of weeks. But of course, we were out this weekend to watch one of those top 9 potential league wins, which could have happened in the Southern League, where Retreat and Morning Star were up against each other. And interestingly enough, that game could still have decided the league winner. In fact, it did decide the league winner, but Retreat needed 5 points out of that game to get on top of Morning Star, who at the time were the log leaders. Morning Star pulled off the victory and did end up winning the league there. But of course, folks, you can't really say, Faisal, I mean, is it fair for me to say that you can't really say that you're the league winner until you actually have the trophy in your hand?
No, definitely. I mean, our leagues have shown it. You know, up until the last game, no one actually knows who the winner is. I think the only league really that's decided is probably the Super League A.
But I mean, even there, we've seen that even where in some cases people will announce even on the game that they've won the league, but you've got to wait for the final things to finish. The final points have to be calculated. You've got to check if there was any disciplinaries where maybe a point was deducted. I mean, anything can change until the day of the announcement.
Now, until it's an official thing that has been sent out. Like you said, we've had in the past people that have, you know, enjoyed a win, thought they'd won the league, and then later on you find out, no, actually they've lost the league and that there. So there's a lot of stuff, I think, on the field, but off the field as well. We need to make sure that everything's in place in that.
Yeah, you've got to wait until you've got the trophy in your hand on the night. Then you're the winner. Until such time, you can say you're the winner, but you have to wait. You have to wait until the actual announcement. But at the moment, top of the log then, Morning Star, unbeaten. And I think the only little blimp that they've had on their name was the draw that they had earlier in the year. But right, folks, we've also got some highlights coming up for you. As you know, Super League A is a very exciting league at the moment, and the matches are being shared from the technical perspective. So we'll be taking a look at the highlights between UWC and False Bay, as well as NTK and Villages. Jerome Paardewater will be taking a look tonight at the technical review. Jerome, you're going to take a look at one of the lineouts for us between NTK and Villages.
I hope it makes sense to the coaches what I say, and yeah, so we'll see what's the other clip tonight about.
I hope it makes sense to me. you guys are getting very technical nowadays. I mean, so club rugby is obviously not what it used to be, where it was just play rugby. Now there's technical reviews and video analysis and strategic planning. It's a lot more advanced than it used to be.
Yeah, myself and Faisal were talking earlier on now, and we just said, like, you can see how advanced the clubs are, and you can also see the clubs that's really on top, the homework that they do, and looking at the other teams, and that's the way forward, JP. I don't say you have to just do everything that like the professionals are doing, but you must give feedback to your players, and proper feedback is only by watching your game and watching the opposition.
But it's obviously fair to say that Western Province, the clubs have had access to the HPC and the Currie Cup coaches and Stormers coaches, so the technical component, the strategic planning, the coaching courses that you guys are doing at a Currie Cup and Stormers level has been for the last few years accessible to the clubs, and so it's of course no surprise that they will be much more advanced.
Yeah, the high performance center in Bellville is open for any coach who wants to come and join us and see what we do. And there's a lot of coaches almost every day coming in and have a chat to the Stormers coaches, to myself, to John Dobson, or whoever they can get hold of. They also speak to the managers. Yeah. And there's a lot of interaction between the club and the professional arm.
Yeah, and I think in fact that there's a club coaching course this weekend. I think Faisal Labib Levy has got a course at Newlands this weekend.
Yes, at Newlands this weekend, Friday and Saturday. I think it's a level 2 course, yeah.
And that's quite an advanced course.
Yeah, that's the next level.
The next level up, much more advanced than I am. Right, folks, also you'll have a chance to win yourself a case of score during the course of the show. But if you download the Cape Rugby TV mobile app, we'll show you a little bit of this a little bit later, but you'll have a chance to win yourself a Hisense mobile H7S Pure Shot mobile phone a little bit later. But you're going to have to download the Cape Rugby TV mobile app and register on the app, and that will put you in the mix to win this Hisense mobile phone. Fantastic phone. Let's take a look now at the results in Super League A. It was a win for Durban over SK Warmers, 62 points to 12. Hamiltons went down to Vix, 34-33. NTK, 48-52 loss for them against Villagers. St. George's went down to UCT, 38-29. Stellenbosch with a 99 points to 7 win over Tygerberg. Union Mill with a win over Brackenfell, and UWC, well, they went down to False Bay by just 2 points. Let's take a look now at the highlights between UWC and False Bay. Right, welcome back everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. A little bit later during the course of the show, I'm going to give you an opportunity to win yourself a Hisense mobile phone. It's the H7S Pure Shot. But to win this phone, you need to download the Cape Rugby TV mobile app. All right, you download the app and go and register on the app. This competition is for registered app entrance. All right, so you download the mobile app and you go register on the app, and that puts you. That of course allows notifications, and it comes to you whenever there's news on about Cape Rugby TV, Western Province Club Rugby, the results and certain short snippets. And of course, when you download the app, you can check the fixtures and the logs. And of course, now it's very important because you want to be able to know what's happening in the promotion league. But also the nice feature there is that you can look at your team's rollout for the entire season. So we've managed to code the various teams matchups, so you can see if it's a home game, away game, and so forth. Let's take a look now at the highlights between NTK and Villages and Super League A. It's getting pretty hot there. All right, there's only one man to speak to about this, and that's Jerome Parvater, who's joined us here on Cape Rugby TV. Jerome, looking at that game, 48-52 between Villages and NTK. That's 100 points on the board. And I must say, looking at the game itself, it looked like a very exciting game and some really good rugby.
Yeah, very good rugby, JP. Would have been good to see if there was a bit of defense from both sides, how they would manage to get their points. But good and entertaining rugby, good hands, good skills from both sides. I just think that both of them need to jack up their defense. But it was really entertaining to see how the guys run and offload. And also if there's a line break, which some teams are struggling with, to go score, but every time if there's a line break from fixers from NTK side or Villages side, there's 2-3 guys to play, and the support players were always there, and that's good.
Support play is obviously important. You want to make sure that your support runner is always there, and it looked like that was the case. What was good to what I noticed there was always somebody to hand the ball to, and then I also noticed that the defense over the maul was solid also.
Yeah, that was good. And that one try that NNK score, where the number 10 actually started it on just outside their half, and there was 4 passes, and he got the last pass to go score. So that was actually brilliant, because how many times you see the guy who started the move stay back, and then there's no support, and he followed up, and he eventually got rewarded, scored a try.
Faisal, when you put 100 points in on a game, and it's non-stop 80 minutes of rugby, it speaks to something about the conditioning of the players here.
No, definitely, and I think it's always difficult to put 100 points. I think if you look, that game was 100 points. The Marty's Tiger game was 100 points. So, it's always, I think it's also the confidence in that. I think a lot of the times in a game, you go in, everybody goes in with that hunger to win the game and that there, and after a while, you need that BMT as well to hang on to it and that there. If you let it slip like that, it can go either way.
Do you think it also speaks a little bit about the coaching and the conditioning in Western Province Super Leagues? I mean, the guys must be really fit.
Yeah, no, definitely. Myself and Jerome, we chatted about it, and I think if you look at, the Super League B and the Super League A, Super League B is great. The guys throw the ball around. There's flair. When you get to Super League A, the defense comes a lot more into play in that in terms of the structures and that there, and the conditioning of your players and that there is vital and it's key. I think that's what keeps the guys, the upper end, the edge over the other teams, and that there's a conditioning of your players.
The big clashes now are, of course, and we'll take a look at the results and the logs in the Super League B and C in a second. But of course, the big worry now for many of the teams are those, if we look at that log, probably from position, you could almost say from position 10 down to 13, UWC, Villagers, SK Warmers, and NTK. They will all want to avoid the third place playoff for relegation. It's still down to the wire.
No, definitely, JP. I mean, if you look at the logs, we've got 2 more games and it's still undecided. We're not sure who's going to be at the bottom. We're also not sure who's going to be at the top as well. If you look at that logs, with False Bay and Durbanville is 1 point adrift. And I think looking at the competition, the format, it's key to be in number 2. But at the same time, at the bottom, you've got St. George's and Belhar, who we know, obviously, unfortunately, they're going down. But people are fighting now for that, not fighting to keep away from that 13th position. And like you said, it boils down to position number 10 that also, needs to ensure that they get a win in that.
Right, folks, as you know, Springbok Atlas is, of course, on board with Cape Rugby TV. They do all of your bus transport. So if you're a club rugby team that is traveling to an away game, then Springbok Atlas has got absolutely the best rates for you. They've got negotiable rates. So you can make sure that you contact Rashad Luki there. But now, if you need to travel, and we know that you're all traveling, then we know a lot of the players will, of course, pay their 50 or 60 Rand to get on the bus, and the bus meets at a certain time. Then Springbok Atlas is the bus transport company for you. They've got safe, reliable transportation. As I mentioned, the rates are negotiable. They operate all over South Africa. Different size buses. And you can get hold of Rashad Luki on 506-2572 or on his mobile 082-318-4627 or email rashad.luki@springbokatlas.co.za. All right, so Springbok Atlas got the bus transport solutions for you. We know that the teams, especially on the promotion league, you're going to be traveling away, and you want to make sure that you get the best possible rates for your club. And of course, make sure you've got the safe possible bus solution, transport solution for your guys. So get all the Rashad Luki on 021-506-2572, and Rashad will make a club rugby transport solution for you.
One of our greatest assets are our fans, the faithful, and we really wanted to create something unique, something world-class, a supporter club that engaged and interacted with all our fans, not only within the Western Cape, but regionally, nationally, and in fact internationally. We have the best fans in the world, and we believe we put together the most amazing, unique, and innovative supporter program. And we call on you to stand together with us. Are you one of the faithful?
Well, welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. Let's take a look now at the technical review. Jerome Parham is going to cover comments here. This was in the match between NTK and Villagers. Line out here, Jerome. setting it up. Number 7 passing through number 8. He cuts straight through the line, and it's a try for Villagers with the Villagers 8th man there. Let's just play that clip one more time. We're going to take a look at where it starts here. This is, of course, a Villagers line out, putting the ball in. They're going to the back, and 7 picks up, passes to 8, and he cuts straight through. All right, Jerome, so there's a try there in the making. Maybe just give us the setup and what should NTK have been doing to avoid the try?
Yeah, first of all, I think NTK at that place on the field, under 22, you normally don't want to give the opposition the back ball or the middle ball, because that's the best ball to attack from.
Yeah.
So there were no, from NTK side, there were no contested at the back to close that space at the back. But I must also say that Villagers did quite well in sort of dummying first forward to keep their defense forward, and then went to the back and took that back ball. And a perfect throw, perfect timing. And that back peel is always difficult to defend, because they actually held the 3 defenders of NNK at the back there, and then the 8 with his pace and power, there's no ways that he sort of run, we call it a reverse line, that number 10 would never stop a big number 8 like that. So they did everything spot on there.
Going against the grain almost.
Yeah.
All right, there's your technical review then, folks. We will do one weekly with Jerome, and we're hoping to get more, in fact, drills from, there we go, to the High Performance Center. And look out for over the next couple of weeks, where we'll also be getting out and speaking to the Western Province Currie Cup players, as well as, of course, the Stormers players, the Western Province Rugby professional players here on Cape Rugby TV. We'll find out a little bit of what the fans are up to. Of course, I'll give you an opportunity to find out more about the Newlands faithful a little bit later, of course. Right, let's take a look at the fixtures then coming up in Super League A this weekend. It's NTK up against Vix, Bellahar take on Union Mill, Brackenfell UWC, False Bay and Villagers. St George's take on SK Warmers, Tygerberg and UCT, and Hamiltons are up against Durbell. It's going to be a big game against between Hamiltons and Durbell this weekend, and I think that the second place position is still being challenged for. Let's take a look at the stats now. It's Hamilton's up against Durbell this weekend. Jerome, this is very close. It's between 4th place and 3rd place on the log currently as they stand. Hamilton's in 4th place. Durbanville is on 3rd place. Hamilton's at the moment on 62% win ratio. Durbell sitting on 83%. Looking at the average points per game, 41 points per game for Durbell, 32 points per game for Hamilton's. But Jerome, I think if we look there at the points against, Hamilton's have got slightly more points against, and Durbell, on the other hand, have got more points for. Looking at this, it's an away game for Durbell, but they do look like they've got the upper hand on stats.
Yeah, if you look at that stats, it looks like Durbell look like the favourites, but it's a away game for them, and it's always tough to go play Hamilton's there. And yeah, sometimes the stats are good, JP, just to give you to give the coaches some guidelines. Yeah. But on the day, stats doesn't count. It depends on how your team turn up on the day to play. But if you look at it, Durbell look like the favourites. Yeah.
Well, if we just look at the log at the moment, we know that Hamilton's is sitting at number 4 on the log. They've got 2 games in hand. They will really have to win both of their games with 5 points to end up in 2nd place. It's probably a little bit too late for that, but they will be regretting this loss that they had over the weekend.
Yeah. I think both losses for Hamilton's. The one against UWC also hurt them a bit.
Yeah.
And then this weekend's loss also hurt them a bit. And I must say, I've spoken to the coach, to the Hamilton's coach. They've lost a few players at critical stages to Boland, so it makes a big difference in their team dynamics.
Right, folks, still coming up, we're going to be showing you the highlights between Retreat and Morningstar. That comes up a little bit later during the course of the show, so make sure that you don't go away. But now this past weekend, it was, of course, at least on Monday, it was the draw at the Sports Science Institute, where the top 9 was decided. Faisal Felton is with us here from Western Province Rugby. Faisal, just before we take a look at the highlights at the clip of what we filmed, what was the importance and significance of Monday evening?
I think Monday evening was basically just to determine your home matches and that. I think the biggest challenge for me in terms of drawing up the fixtures is obviously the time frame, and in terms of some of the challenges that we face with cricket now also starting in October and that day. So Monday night teams came out basically just to decide which games you will play at home. As you know, the competition is we've got 9 teams. You've got 8 matches. It's always difficult to decide which games you will have at home. So yeah, it was basically
how many games are we talking about?
So teams will play 8 games in total, 4 home, 4 away, and the question is which are home and which are away.
All right, well, we're going to take a look at that now, folks. We're at Sports Science, and we managed to speak to some of the clubs that are competing in the competition as well. Let's see what happened there. After a lengthy battle in the Western Province Club Rugby, Southern City and Northern Leagues, the top of the log in each division has been finalised. The top 3 teams in each division will now go on to compete in the Top 9 Promotion Challenge, which will see 3 teams promoted to the Super League C division. The Southern League top 3 included league winners Morning Star, runners-up Laguna and third place Retreat. In the Northern League, winners Blue Stars United, Rugby Universals, Van der Stel Evergreens qualified, and from the City League, Masiphumelele, Silvertree and Police will compete in the top 9. This past Monday at the Sports Science Institute at Newlands, the Western Province Rugby Football Union hosted various divisions to draw their home ground fixtures for this round-robin clash. The first round of competition, starting on Saturday 8 September, will see Silvertree at home against Morning Star, Retreat at home against Police, Van der Stel Evergreens travel to Noordhoek to face Masiphumelele, and Blue Stars United will be at home against Rugby Universals. For all the logs, results and fixtures, please visit www.wpclubrugby.co.za.
We got a lucky draw. We got Morning Stars, Blue Jets, and then a Retreat in Massey, which we played away in the league round. So we're happy with the draw. I mean, Morning Stars are top of the league. I mean, they got 48 points, about 5 points more than what we scored during the first round. So we're happy with the draw.
Ik denk ons het hard gewerkt om door hier te komen. En ik bedoel, die resultaten wijzen dat ons kan niet mas opkomen. Maar de harde werk beleven nou eens voor. Ik denk, je kan elke wedstrijd moet je maar vat op meriete. En je maar wedstrijd voor wedstrijd van. Je kan niet vooruit beplan al die. So, elke game wat komt, gaan hard wees.
Ja, als het was 4 spannende team in die league. Was het 2 geëindigd. 2 games verloren en 2 gewen. Maar mijn man is op 3 en ons zien uit naar die competitie.
Ons het 'n baie goeie seisoen gehad. Ek dink ons het nou voortbou daarop. Ons kaptein is terug na 6 weke injury. Ons het nog reservekrag gehad uithaal. Ons het vir ons hierdie jaar het ons vir ons ordentlik prepare vir om uit die kompetisie te gaan Super C toe.
Right, so that was of course the draw. Faisal, just back to the top 9 now. It's of course the 3 first, second and third in the Southern, the Northern and City leagues that are now competing in the top 9. There's no semi-finals, finals in this. It's a knockout process, and whoever ends at the top, first, second and third, are the winners.
Yeah, so as you said now, it's a round-to-round competition, 9 teams, 8 matches, 4 home, 4 away. One of the biggest challenges this year was obviously the time frame, but with the draw, we also determined that there's got to be at least each club will play 2 evening matches as well, just to make sure that we finish in time and that before the end of October. With the teams going up, you end at the end of the season. Position 1 and 2 is automatically going up. Position 3 and 4 will play off to determine which is the third team that will be joining the other 2 in Super League C.
Right, okay, so the first and second teams will be promoted into Super League C.
Yeah, the first and second
on the
log in that chart.
Right.
So 1 and 2 is guaranteed promotion to Super League C. Then you have 3 teams coming down from Super League C automatic. It's just position 3 and 4 that will play off to determine the third side going up.
The other component that happened on Monday night was, of course, the PAL League, where you looked at the top 6 and bottom 6, and you've got 2 teams from the Simonsburg region that have joined there.
Yeah, as you know, PAL region is a bit unique in terms of there's no promotion or relegation. They play amongst the PAL, So what we've done this year is we've included also the Simonsburg region as well to create a bit of excitement as well, where there's teams playing outside. So there will be 2 teams from Simonsburg that will play against the bottom half of the PAL region, the bottom 4 teams in it.
Yeah. And then, of course, the big thing that's happening over the next few weeks will be after the Super League's A, B, and C divisions are complete. We will see the draw there and then go into the knockouts in the top 6 in each division, heading towards Newlands.
Yes, I think also there was a bit of challenges. Newlands on the 6th of October. I think that's what everybody's looking forward to. We have the semi-finals on the 29th at City Park, and then on the 26th will be the quarterfinals.
And of course, the important thing to note here is that league winners can only be determined at this stage in the City Southern, Northern, and PAL regions, but the league winners for Super League A, B, and C will only be determined after the tournament's complete.
Yeah, definitely, JP. I mean, we had a look at the logs tonight. We looked at positions 1 and 2 and that, but you might find teams in position 6 that also has a chance of winning the league. So I think definitely the competition is a lot more exciting. It's you play until the end. As you said early on, we only determine the league winner when you lift up that trophy at Newlands on the 6th.
Right, it's quite exciting. Looking forward to that, folks. So make sure that you book that date, the 6th of October. At Newlands. All the clubs are going to be there, and for the clubs that are watching, remember, if you're coming from far away, book your transport with Springbok Atlas, book your bus, call Rashad Luki on 506-2572. Let's take a look now at the results in Super League B. It was a win for Hamlets, 29-26 over All Saints. Vineyards, 29-28 over Belleville, a 1-point win, and then Collegians beating Hands and Hearts 17-12. Helderberg with a 22-14 win over Young Peoples. A win for Kailsriver over Kraaifontein. Peneel Villages went down to Franschhoek. That was a derby match. And Rangers, of course, going down to Primrose over the weekend. Very exciting there. And let's quickly take a look at the log now in Super League B. Helderberg still at the top with Franschhoek, but very close, as you can see. Franschhoek, Paul, Kailsriver, all still sitting on 42 points. Coming up behind them, Primrose and Belleville. So the top 6 are far from undecided because still can make it into the top 6 there. Vineyards, Young Peoples, Hamlets, still 3 or 4 games left here, folks. In fact, there are still through maximum of 3 games left for many of those teams, and we could see the likes of as low down as Hamlets in position 9, making it into the top 6. And certainly at the bottom, it's as close at the moment because Hands and Hearts, Kraaifontein, Peneel Villages, All Saints, all scrambling still to make sure that they stay out of the relegation zone. Right, let's take a look now at the fixtures in Super League B coming up this weekend. And as we said, it is going down to the wire. Franschhoek take on Rangers, Paarl take on Vineyards, Hamlets and Kailsriver, Belleville are hosting All Saints, Primrose and Hands and Hearts, Young People's Collegians, Kraaifontein and Helderberg. Jerome, it's going to be a big match between Belleville and All Saints.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice one. Belleville was a bit unlucky last week not to win that game against Vineyards, but Vineyards played well. So that's going to be. I think Belleville need points. If they can take these points, they can move up a bit, and then they're sort of sure to be in the top 6 or stay there. So that's going to be a big one for them, yeah.
All right, it's very exciting then this weekend, folks, and that's our pick of the week. We'll be going, Cape Rugby TV will be visiting Belleville this week. Kent, Belleville up against All Saints. All right, as we mentioned earlier on, it is, of course, the features match that we did take a look at was Retreat Morningstar. That's going to come up in a second or so. Let's quickly take a look at the results in Super League C. It was a win for Blue Jets over, at least for Langa, 9-6 over Blue Jets. Busy Bees with a win over Elsies Rivier at 33-23. Macassar with a 28-24 win over Kylemore. Strand United beat Scottsdene, and Young Stars went down to Manenberg Rangers. Taking a look at the log now in Super League C, Macassar still sit at the top, followed by Goodwood, Busy Bees, Kylemore, Strand, Langa, Scottsdene. So again, it's down to the wire, all the way down to position 8 or 9 that we can see movement there for Blue Jets. Scottsdene all can still make it. They've still got 3-4 games in hand for some of these games. Faisal, this one is just as wide open. The top 6 is so far, I mean, it's so close.
Yeah, no, definitely, JP. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to figure out all the permutations and trying to see who's exactly is going to be in the top 6. But I mean, looking at it, you're undecided. You're not sure exactly who's in top in that there. So I think this weekend, if you look at the some of the results, the guys playing against each other, it's sort of leveled out the table.
It's just too close to call. What we do know is that the relegation space is also a bit of a struggle. Young Stars, we know, is going to go down. Let's quickly take a look at the logs there, folks. Just take a look at the bottom part of the table here, and you can see it's Young Stars right at the bottom. They haven't had much success this weekend. Solarians also in a relegation space, and it's going to be now a struggle between Elsie's, Young Wesley's, Manenberg Rangers, Blue Jets that are challenging. Even Scottsdene. Well, we wouldn't say Scottsdene because Elsie's would have to have a massive points margin there. But the struggle is going to be on between Blue Jets, Manenberg Rangers, Young Wesley's, and Elsie's River for that dreaded 3rd place position. So, Faisal, it's not only at the top 6, it's even at the bottom 5-6 teams that are still undecided.
No, definitely, JP. I think, one of the things that we've seen with the Super League A was that the games are starting sort of to level out. I think if you look at Super League C, there's a number of games that's still outstanding. So when you look at the logs, there's still teams that have games in hand.
Yeah.
So I think after this week, we hopefully will start seeing exactly who's who and that in terms of who's still, where the guys are ending.
Yeah, it's going to be very close. Right, folks, if you have been down to MChem 24-hour pharmacy, it's on the corner of N1 and Durban Road. If you dive down the N1 and just turn down Durban Road towards Voortrekker Road, then MChem 24-hour pharmacy is on your left-hand side. Fantastic pharmacy. They've just revamped the pharmacy. It looks really, really nice. There's a great coffee shop upstairs. There's a spa upstairs. Not a spa like the shopping spa where you go do your groceries, but a spa where you can do your nails and your toenails, pedicures and manicures at that spa upstairs. Really great little coffee shop there. You can buy your sports nutrition supplements. Of course, Jill, Lee and Mr. Malach are there to service you. Staff there are so friendly. I love going out to MChem, especially because the parking is free and there's a massive parking place at MChem. Outside MChem, that's one of the convenient factors. For those of you that need to get to a pharmacy 24 hours a day, MChem 24-hour pharmacy available on the corner of the N1 and Durban Road. We're going to take an ad break, and when we come back from the break, we'll take a look at the match between Retreat and Morning Star. Right, folks, it was, of course, a big game over the weekend where it was Retreat against Morning Star. A very exciting game. It was a potential league winner. And just a reminder for those of you that want to win yourself a Hisense H7S Pure Shot mobile phone. If you want to win this mobile phone, you need to download the Cape Rugby TV mobile app. Just download and register on the app. You can download it on the Apple iStore or on Google Play, and you could put yourself in the mix to win this Hisense mobile phone. But you need to register. Once you've downloaded the app, we'll be drawing the winners from those that have registered on the app. So you just open the app and there's a big register button. Click on that, enter your details, and you're in the mix, and we'll be announcing the winner next week. It was, of course, Retreat up against Morning Star, and we'll be speaking to their captains and coaches in a sec. Alright folks, Morningstar against Retreat. It was the first half score there. Morningstar going to the lead and 19 points to 15, and then ultimately a win for Morningstar. Nice big margin for them. 42 points to 25 over Retreat. Jerome, nice to see some good running rugby there.
Yeah, two total different teams. Retreat just play with their forwards, and Morningstar with their backs. Retreat has got a couple of big boys, but Morningstar with the skill and the natural running of the backs was quite good, and good skill from their side. And I think at the end they're just a little bit more fitter than Retreat.
Yeah, let's catch up now with Donovan Peterson, is of course the captain at Retreat. It didn't go their way, but they were still happy. Right, folks, we're in Retreat, the LMB Drive. A massive game today. It came down to the wire. Of course, the league winners could have been decided today. With me now is Donovan Peterson, Donovan, captain at Retreat. Donovan, didn't go your way, but you guys have had a great season.
JP, yes, man. Ik denk, als het team weet ons waar ons wel geëindigd het. En ons nog elke jaar in die top 9 en het nog nooit progress naar de Super C toen. Dus ik denk dat we dit jaar het een stapje verder vat en een Super C improve. Die mannen zullen het waarderen en hulle het hard gewerkt hierdie season om op die positie te wees. En ik denk hiervan kan ons net vorentoe gaan.
Folks, with me now is Pat Marais. He's a coach here at Retreat. Pat, it didn't go your way today, but you guys have had an incredible season.
Ja, we did. En ik denk ons moet maar net aanhouden wat ons doen. Baie jong mannen wat nog baie potentiaal heeft, so ons moet maar net aanhouden met wat ons doen.
Pat, hoe voorberei jullie nou voor die top 9?
Wel, ons moet nou net aanhouden, want ons moet nou terug gaan Blackboard toe, om maar net weer op onze mistakes te werken en maar niet daarvan aan het werk, verstaan je?
Right, folks, with me now is Anthony Elmerson, the chairperson of Retreat. Anthony, big game for you guys today, top 9 of course, but not just the fact that that it was the league final, top 9, but also you just recently had 120 years of celebration here at Retreat.
Yeah, we actually celebrated that the weekend pass in lovely rain, and it was quite a success. We had young standards being part of our celebration. So the club being 120 is actually a great milestone, and as you saw today, we have youth on our side, and as the coach made mention that without youth we don't have a club, so we invest in our youngsters.
Okay, just back to today's game. It was a close game. It didn't work out for you guys. Morningstar took the win. Now it's the promotion league. How important is the promotion league for you guys?
JP, this is our 3rd year that we've qualified for the top 9, and I think with the youngsters that we got and the eagerness, it's just experience. We need to coach them to play games at a higher level, and I think they've got it in them. And as you saw today, we lost the game by our silly mistakes, and I think it was close enough for us to take it on the end of the day.
Anthony, you guys are doing a fantastic job here. It's a great venue, beautiful setting as well. The youth are coming through the ranks, and you guys are showing what can be done in the world of community sports. So yeah, well done to you.
Thank you, JP.
Lekker.
Thank you to Cape Rugby also.
Right, good there to speak to Donovan Peterson. He's of course the captain at Retreat. Pat Marais is the coach, and Anthony Elmerson is the chairperson at Retreat. Faisal, the guys are doing a fantastic job at grassroots level.
No, definitely, JP. I think everything starts there at the bottom and at the end. I think mentioned earlier on Retreat, they've been doing some great work. They've always been there in the top 9 and at there. So credit to them for hanging in there, and good luck to them in the top 9.
Yeah, let's speak now to Etienne Boertes, captain at Morningstar. Very happy captain. Right, mense, wenners nou in die Southern League. Morningstar, ons praat al heel jaar van Morningstar. Etienne, jy is die kaptein van Morningstar. Julle ouens lyk om trots vandag.
Ja, ek is baie trots. Ons wil eerstens wil ek vir die Hemelse Vader baie dankie sê vir die talent wat hy vir ons gegee het. Dan wil ek vir ons supporters wat elke wedstryd saam met ons is, ons coaches, ons bestuur, almal wil ek dankie sê. Maar soos ek sê, ons het begin van die jaar gesê, ons doelwit is om top 9 te haal. Ons het dit bereik. So ek is baie bly daarvoor.
Het is nou natuurlik die promotion league wat kom. Ek nou net met Donovan gepraat. Hy sê julle almal is reg vir daai league.
Ja, JP, ons is definitief reg vir die league. Kyk, maar ander gaan ons gou draw. dan af wat daar gebeurt. Maar ik heb klaar voor ons gezegd verleden week. Ons is recht, ons maak je zaak wie ons keren eerst of wie ons home keren of wij keren ons is recht. Als ons koppen recht is, als ons harte recht, so definitief ons is recht voor die top vir die Promotional League.
Soos ek na die veld gekyk het hier van die kant vandag, het ek vir Silvertree aan die een kant gesien, Laguna aan die ander kant. Wie sou jy sê is die groot challenges daar buite?
Eerlik, Massie en Rugby Universals. Dus ons is hier versigtig vir bang vir hulle. Ons is net 'n bietjie cautious vir hulle, maar ons is reg vir hulle. Ons is reg vir enige een van die 8 wat nou oor is reg vir hulle almal.
Dis 'n goeie call daai. Etienne, baie dankie. Wel gedaan. Ons sien julle in die top 9.
Baie dankie Tjie.
Right folks, with me now Trevor Boyson, of course, coach of Morning Star. We've spoken to Trevor a couple of times on the show. Trevor, jy seker in jou noppies vandag.
Ja, definitief JP.
Sê my 'n bietjie wat dit gevat om hier uit te kom.
Ek JP is dit insit. Dedicated. En my spreek wat mos altyd practice makes you perfect.
Die ouens van Morning Star het nie al die facilities wat al die clubs het nie, maar lyk my hulle maak dit nog steeds werk.
Ja, as 'n bietjie rondval, waar ons het die beligting hier, ons oefen net 'n uur staan. Maar dis dinge wat jy maar net met een kant toe skuif en vorentoe kyk.
Die een ding wat vir my uitstaan as ek vir Morning Star kyk, is die stepping. Jy kan sien hierdie ouens ken vir sevens rugby. Vandag as ek gekyk het na retreat, ek sou sê die pakgewigte was miskien bietjie teen julle, maar die agterlyn wat julle het, hulle run en step hom fantasties.
Ja, hulle het 'n bietjie baie sevens en hulle die meeste van hulle kom van Durbanville hoërskool af. Maar ek dink my forwards kan dit doen. Ek dink net hulle was 'n bietjie en hulle skrik toe hulle sien die ouderdomsgroep wat voor hulle staan.
Okay, ons los dit daar so. Ons sien julle in die top 9. Right, folks, there you go. Great result there for Morning Star. They've really come through the ranks over the last few years and have now dominated in the Southern League and end up as the league winners on the day. So, good win there for Morning Star. But now, Morning Star and the Retreat and a number of the other teams, of course, go into the top 9 Promotions League. Remember, Dulux Maitland at number 30 Coburg Road for all your paint supplies. You can get down there. They will spec your property for you. They'll spec your house. They'll work out exactly how many square meters you need to paint. They work out the different types of paint colors that you might need. And then, of course, we'll mix it up for you and give you the exact right quantity. So the service at Dulux Maitland is, of course, unsurpassed. Dulux Maitland at number 30 Coburg Road. It's just over the bridge here. You see them on the left. Big sign, Dulux Maitland. Go get down there, get all your paint supplies. Right, Faisal, you sent me a photograph here. Let's quickly take a look at this picture here. This looks like your ladies' team.
Yes, JP, that's the UCT team. It's the first time the girls playing rugby. I think it's the first time also we're having UCT in the league and that there. So for us, credit to UCT, to Gavin, Karim Razdin and that there for putting a team together.
So women's rugby going well at Western Province. We haven't had a lot of features about women's rugby this season, but it does seem like things are going well there for the women's division.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, the message out there to some of the, the ladies and the females watching Cape Rugby and that is to actually, instead of watching, come out and start playing. Encourage, put pressure on the clubs. This year we had Tigerberg also playing in that there, so it's great to see, the guys, the clubs supporting women's rugby as well.
No, that's fantastic. You guys are doing a great job at Western Province. Tell Sammy Malatsi he can join us on the show sometime and come talk to us about what's happening in women's rugby.
No, definitely.
Jerome, thanks for joining us. We'll hopefully see you again next week. We'll take another look at technical reviews. It's been fun, and of course this week I'm hoping to see you at Belleville up against All Saints.
Yeah, first my under 21 team are playing against the Cheetahs at City Park on Saturday. But yeah, after that I'll go to one of the club games.
There we go. Right, Faisal, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you soon.
No, thanks for having me here tonight, JP.
That was lekker. Right, folks, that's a wrap from Cape Rugby TV. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.